Adam Brody, Piper Perabo, and more call for less gun violence on screen at the White House roundtable. Hollywood has been due for a reckoning. Well, if Alec Baldwin doesn't do it, then I guess these people are going to do it, right? The worst part about this is these people don't understand what they're talking about because they've never owned a firearm. They've most likely never shot a firearm outside of unless they've done a scene for it for work. And they never actually have any respect for how dangerous they are other than to just say that they should be banned.
It really pained you that Piper Perabo was involved in this campaign.
I love Coyote Ugly, the masterpiece that is Coyote Ugly in the show Covert Affairs.
Yeah.
Yes, she's fantastic. And it says basically first of all, have you ever noticed that ever since Joe Biden's been in office, like celebrities are just going in and out of the White House like they got
it's Joe Biden office hours.
Yeah.
Anyone can go in.
Just go in whenever you want.
Well, he's not there. He's on vacation again. So
they had Ted Lasso in there.
Yeah, very bizarre.
To talk about what was it again? I don't even remember.
It was Mental Health Awareness Month.
And they were getting heckled the entire time, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, we reacted to the video on here.
Yeah, like
cringe. It's cringe.
The problem is because they understand the power that these celebrities have over social messaging, right?
Is anyone gonna vote for Biden's second term because Ted Lasso was at the White House?
Probably. Yeah. Honestly, probably. Yeah.
Genuinely.
Yeah. Honestly, there are probably people like that. Sadly.
No, the same thing.
End universal suffrage.
Yep.
Oh, gee.
She said it, not me. So it says, while depictions of gun violence in the entertainment industry are nothing new, there is a cultural shift taking place as filmmakers consider how their films and shows depict gun violence. This bummed me out because it was from Matt Nix, who made Burn Notice, which is like my favorite show of all time, which is nothing but gun violence and explosions.
They also had J.J. Abrams.
Yes, again, explosions. So it says, I've written a lot of stories over the years that involve firearms, and I've already changed how I portray gun safety in the home since signing Brady's pledge last year. Perabo discussed gun safety in homes and how the entertainment community says can also make a cultural shift to talk and normalize storage. I don't think they understand that if the scenes that they're showing in movies and television shows aren't about storage.
Yeah.
That's about the violence part, not the storage part, which makes no sense. And they also have this weird conflation where they're saying, look, it's not our fault that gun violence is a thing, but we can help solve the problem.
So there needs to be a scene in John Wick now where he like gets a knock on the door and goes to his gun safe, does his combination, loads it correctly. Like, is that what needs to be?
Yeah.
Right. So I did wade into the open letter that they had on the Brady campaign. It says here, something needs to be done. Guns are prominently featured in TV and movies in every corner of the globe, but only America has a gun violence epidemic. The responsibility lies with lax gun laws supported by politicians afraid of losing power. We didn't cause the problem, but we want to help fix it.
How does that work? How do you not cause the problem, but fix it?
Here's what I was saying earlier. I think that these people have a huge level of cognitive dissonance if they think that they didn't cause the problem, but they have the power to fix it. Here's why. Does the media we consume influence our behavior? Point blank, does it? And if the answer is yes, then they did, in fact, contribute to the problem. So if you didn't contribute to the problem, you don't have the power to have the solution to the problem.
If you've helped society by showing diversity on screen, then you have to also accept the idea that by showing gun violence on screen, you have hurt
gun violence.
That's if you believe that
would require them to take personal responsibility, and they will never do that.
No, they will not.
I mean, Hollywood could start with like promoting gun safety by actually convicting a person who killed someone with a gun on set.
Yeah.
But that's not possible. So, and he's also not blacklisted.
Yeah.
So I don't know what this.
Did you follow the Alec Baldwin thing at all?
A bit.
A bit?
Yeah, but it's like you see it with this story over here. You see a whole lot of them signing petitions and making public statements, but not a lot of them visiting Southside Chicago and reaching out to the youth of all the kids in the schools. So,
well, they say 250 mass shootings, but what they're not talking about is the fact that there's a lot of gang violence and stuff like that, because they live in gated communities and they don't actually understand what it's like to live with us, with the regular people.
Yeah,
right?
with the peasants. They just had their publicist put something on their desk and they sign and they say, I'm helping.
Another thing that which is funny is because they don't understand it is like if they had ever actually interacted with somebody who cared about firearms, they would understand how much an actual gun owner treats the firearm as something that's dangerous and is very powerful. They understand you always treat a gun as if it's always loaded. You know, like they understand the average gun owner. If you watch a YouTube video from someone, they just had T-Rex arms on IRL last night. They understand that safety is of the utmost importance with this. They don't treat anything with safety. The first thing they could do is start showing halfway decent trigger discipline anytime they put somebody on screen with a gun, or actually show them as if they actually know how to carry a firearm, but they don't do that.
Yeah.
Makes no sense.
They have a weird behaviorist philosophy about people where they think all wrongdoing is a result of ignorance or poor education, when in fact, you know, what they need to accept about human nature is that people do wrong things out of a choice to do the wrong thing, knowing that it's the wrong thing to do.
Yeah.
Like gun violence. Has anyone seen gun violence on screen and then said, I'm going to go do a gun violence now? Like, I don't understand what paradigm these people are operating on. Like,
it makes no sense.
What planet are you living on that you think... I mean, I certainly think media affects our behavior.
Yeah.
But if you want to say that about guns in a positive way, not a negative way, it has to be all or nothing. Does the way you portray sex on screen influence the way that people have sex?
Yep.
I would say it does, but they would deny that because it... Thank you. But it would require them to take accountability for what they're putting on screen.
Yep.
But then they're never going to do that. Oh, do we have a $20 one?
Yep.
Daniel J. Corica said, it's lax enforcement of laws, not lax gun laws. Need a background check to purchase a firearm, period. We need firearms safety classes in schools.
That will never come back. They will never put firearm safety back in schools, unfortunately. That's never going to be something that happens. Also, they also have this weird thing where they don't like when there are positive examples of it. I've seen more than a few examples of fathers and mothers teaching their kids how to use firearms, and they get upset because they think that that's somehow dangerous
Every
to
time
teach your kid how to
they
properly
post the video
use
and
a
say,
firearm.
this is grooming.
Yes.
And they're never going to get rid of it out of their movies. Look, there was 2 bills that were proposed in California after the Baldwin shooting that were designed to make the gun laws more strict around on-set use, and both bills failed. Of course, because they understand that they can virtue signal all they want. When it comes down to it, they're going to take their money and the story first. They're not going to actually do anything about it other than sign these useless bills and make no actual progress. But, it's
like they think people don't watch a movie or TV show and make value judgments about the people on it, the characters in it. Bad people on a movie do bad things.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So when they're irresponsible with guns or use guns to kill innocent people, that's obviously, people make a value judgment when they watch that and say that's bad. I don't want to model that behavior.
They also mention they also mention things in the past that Hollywood has done to curb, which is not showing smoking on screen as much. But what they don't understand is before that, you did show lots of smoking on screen. So you have to either accept that you were part of the problem before and then work to fix it, or accept that your second choice had no impact.
I mean, in all other situations, think about the way they talk about the way Disney princesses made young girls feel degraded and dehumanized for decades before. You contributed to the problem of sexism, but you also have the solution to fix it now that you're remaking all of the movies.
Yeah. I also think
where is the consistency?
I also think it's delusional to think that an irresponsible firearms owner is being irresponsible because they saw it in a movie. They talk about 4.6 million people at home live at home with unsecured firearms. I'm and you think they're doing that because they watched it in a movie? That's the height of narcissism to me in a lot of ways.
They said they want to limit scenes including children and guns, bearing in mind guns are now the leading cause of death for children and adolescents.
They count 18-year-olds as kids in that study.
Another point here, have at least one conversation during pre-production regarding the way guns will be portrayed on screen and consider alternatives that could be employed without sacrificing narrative integrity. Impossible. And use creativity to model responsible gun ownership and show consequences for reckless gun use. we will make a conscious effort to show characters locking their guns safely and making them inaccessible to children. So you're literally going to have one character, like an adult, putting a gun into a safe, or unloading it, putting it into a safe, and a toddler on the ground being like, "Give it to me, mommy, give me the gun." And you're like, "No, this is for adults." Like, it's the same ham-fisted way that, like, as I was saying earlier, Brett, like, they show a random character has gay parents and they think some homophobe is watching it on their screen, and they're like, I like that character and they have gay parents. I don't hate gay people anymore. Yeah. Thanks, Hollywood.
Well, they're talking about the 4.6 million kids that had lost their lives or living in the homes with unsecured firearms. So they're really going to show some gangster movie where, like, they're out there doing a drive-by shootout in, like, the downtown part of town. And, like, okay, kids, remember, everybody make sure to get your guns and unload in the gun safes afterwards. Like, it makes no sense that they're actually going to implement any of this. It's just, hey, we're going to say we're going to do this, but, I mean, it's never going to show up anywhere realistic.
No, it's virtue signaling, which is what Hollywood does best, which is offer surface level platitudes on problems that are much, much deeper and more complicated to work on than something like this. It's also funny too because in the end, it's just not the story that anyone's going to actually watch. Like, that scene you just described isn't something somebody's going to actually watch. Yeah. They're going to go watch John Wick. They're going to go watch Tom Cruise in Mission Impossible.
Or a heist movie.
Or a heist movie.
Exciting like that. It's exciting because it doesn't happen in real life.
Exactly. That's not the way the actual world works. And it does bother me because a lot of the celebrity, like, I didn't recognize a lot of the names on here, which makes me think that a lot of it is
Amy
just...
Schumer was on it. Also Jimmy Kimmel.
Do you think Jimmy Kimmel shoots guns? I don't think
know if
Jimmy
he's ever
Kimmel
shot a gun
in his entire life.
But I do wonder how many people in Hollywood are secret gun owners.
I'm sure.
Secret.
Well, I mean,
all of them, right? In their home, yeah.
Oh, or they've got private security.
They hire people with guns to protect them. So
yeah, just like our politicians,
hypocrites.
Yeah.
I just hate the reiteration of, we didn't cause the problem, but we want to help fix it. We didn't start the fire.
Yeah. And you're from California, which has some of the strictest gun laws in the entire...
Yeah, which is crazy because you have Los Angeles County, which is, like, super strict right there, but then you drive 20 minutes away over to, like, Riverside County, Orange County, and it's just an entirely different scenario.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then where's all the crime happening with guns, though? Los Angeles County.
Oh, it's also funny too because for California, like, I still remember they were like, because these celebrities, they're just cut off from normal people, right? Yeah. When they had it wasn't the Oscars, but I don't remember what was the last award show. They put up these, like, massive walls in front of the building so that normal people couldn't get in.
Oh yeah.
And see in.
Over at, like, Union Station where all the homeless people live, they're gonna have some award ceremony over there. So they went in there and just said, "Oh, you guys have 24 hours to vacate." There's all these laws on how you can't move them because we don't have homes or beds in homeless shelters for them to stay, but for the rich people, all those rules go out the window.
Then they will just do whatever they need to do to keep the rich people happy because they drive the economy there.
Yeah.
Yep. And they have the staff that work those award shows wearing masks while they're free to walk around without them.
I wonder if that's still going on. Do you think that's still going on?
I think so.
In 2023, like it's
relaxing now.
Yeah. Like, did you have to wear? Were they, like, strict about the masks out there in California? Like, super strict?
It was the craziest thing because in LA County, everybody's masked up and everybody's afraid and kind of depressed because everybody's indoors all the time. Yeah. I drive like 20 minutes to Riverside County and see my nephew's Little League game, and it's like it wasn't even happening. Everything was like normal. Different world, but it's not. You could see it like with your own eyes. You don't need to.
Kind of depends where you get your information. The people the people at the Little League game were getting different information than the people who are scared crapless in LA County.
Yeah, it's sad, but that's how it is.
And for these celebrities, I think a lot of them, to me, like the Piper Perabo one, that just feels a lot of times to me as like pulling the ladder up behind you. Like, they're just going to make it harder for the rest of the people. If there was to be any type of change in the industry, imagine having to like you don't get the cool roll now where you fire a gun. Now you have to be some type of weird PSA infomercial where everything's infotainment and nothing can actually be fun anymore.
Sorry, reckless gun use is cool. It should be on screen. No, I'm maybe not. I don't know. I'm not an expert, but and maybe it's not a good thing that we have so much violence on screen. Maybe it's not.
No, this is just the carbon offset of gun control, of saying I'm still going to have all my guns, I'm going to have all my armed guards, but I said the right things, and I did. I spent some money in the right places, so everybody for themselves downtown in LA.
I just think if you're going to claim that you have the power to have a positive impact on society and the behavior of your viewership, then also claim the responsibility that you can have a negative impact, and not just in one area, but all areas of human behavior, that they portray all social interaction and academia and racial tensions too, even, or sexuality, or all of these different issues. They do believe that they have an impact in all of these different areas. So take responsibility when it's negative.
Yep. And they won't, because they want to be thought leaders, but with none of the risks.
You're
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.